Good afternoon. BeeConSel addresses missing element in many local breeding programs, including those in some of the project partner countries. Mating control. As a cornerstone of selection, the mating control functions also as a tool in conservation, improving the attractiveness of local honeybee subspecies in the eye of the beekeeper. According to the survey we distributed among our registered and unregistered queen breeders, more than 2/3 believe mating control is highly important, and almost half of them think that current situation regarding mating control should be improved. But why mating control isn't in place? In case of project partners, the answer is simple: space, or to be precise, the lack of it. In the last census in Slovenia, the number of registered colonies went through the roof. 213,000, meaning more than 10 on 1 square kilometer of country's surface, with similar situation in Croatia and Macedonia. The possibilities to provide sufficient mating control are therefore limited. Following the guidance by our Norwegian project partners, we decided to test several approaches to the issue. First, by classical spatial isolation, second, by biological isolation with overflowing the location with our own drones, and third, by implementing a temporal isolation, aka Joel Horner method, and to evaluate the success by determination of Petri lines. The spatial isolation was tested in alpine valleys, deep forest and highland plateau. In the first year, we focused on recording the background noise to evaluate contamination of this location with drones from the unknown sources. According to the expectations, many of tested locations weren't proven drone-tied. There is a possibility of the surviving feral colonies, which is an encouraging thought, though not in the sense of our project. Temporal isolation was tested in Macedonia, without our own drone-producing colonies in place, using both preventing queen mating flights until chosen hour and adjusting biological clock using cooling chambers. A successful mating flight was recorded as late as 6:15, that is roughly 2 hours before the sunset in that region. The biological isolation was tested in Croatian flatland using 140 drone-producing colonies to decrease the probability of the mating with foreign drones. The samples of brood of successfully mated queens, drone-producing queens and the newly mated queens themselves were collected to evaluate the permeation of foreign drones in the biological isolation experiment and the presence of foreign drones in the spatial and temporal isolation experiment. In the next year, we will repeat the experiment using our own drone colonies and compare the recorded background noise against our signal. BeeConSel is funded through EA and Norway grants fund for the regional cooperation.